Hey guys, it's Andrew from Gamer's Guide to Life, and I'm here in the D&D lair. That's right, we're trapped, we're held hostage here.
You can't get out now.
By Shelly and Chris. They're going to be talking to us today about D&D Rise of the Underdark. Take it away, guys. Tell us a little bit about this game.
Okay, so Rise of the Underdark is our campaign that was kicked off here at PAX. And it's similar to what we did with Neverwinter last year, you might remember. We have an entire suite of product offerings, and they're all tied together through this Drow storyline. So the story begins with our friend Lulth, who's outside of this booth. She has designs on becoming the goddess of magic, and so she has summoned her Drow minions to do her dirty work, and because of that there's been a lot of Drow activity that the heroes on the surface have been noticing. So that's essentially where the story for D&D Encounters is going to kick off, with the heroes being sent into the Underdark to find out what's going on. So it's up to the players at D&D Encounters to follow that storyline and find out what's going on.
In order to equip their characters with all the things you're going to need, all the players out there are going to want to pick up a copy of Into the Unknown, the Survivor's Handbook. It's going to have all the tips, tricks, themes, and stuff that they need in order to attempt to be successful against the Drow.
Attempt. Notice he says attempt. He's a dungeon master, so...
Oh, no.
Yeah,
oh,
he's my dungeon master.
Falling into his designs.
Yeah, this kind of campaign is exactly what DMs are very excited about.
So what's one sinister trick? Give us some kind of information.
There's no specific sinister trick I can get going. However, I will tell you that later on in the summer, we are putting out Enzo Moran's City of Intrigue, and it's going to introduce an entirely new style of play, so that players will be able to get involved and be essentially citizens of the Underdark and play in a more backstabbing, kind of treacherous way inside of the party. So the Dungeon Master is going to be able to sit back, introduce the situation, allow the players to pursue a singular goal, and then watch the infighting start inside the group. In order to further promote that, we're also putting out the next Dungeons & Dragons fortune card set is Drow Treachery.
Yeah.
And it has mechanics that speak specifically to that style of play. It's going to be very exciting.
It'll be new for players. I know a lot of players have played in campaigns like this before, but I certainly haven't. It's not the D&D that I'm used to, but I'm very excited to try this out. With
the rise of Drizzt and such, a beloved character in Forgotten Realms, one thing that D&D has just done so very well is that you guys are in sync with your stories. Everything that happens in a book always carries over into the games, whether it be on paper, board games, or even the video games in general. You're still following that path with this new campaign, correct?
Yeah, more so than ever. We have even more products with this campaign that are tied into the story. And we have comic books, we have novels, we have Dungeons & Dragons Online, which for the first time they're having heroes venture into the Forgotten Realms, and they may encounter big giant spider on the other side of the booth. Not saying, but we have the tabletop role-playing games. We've got some Drow accessories, which Chris and I pretty much cleaned the retail booth out of this morning. We waited until Sunday. If they were still here on Sunday, we were.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so there's lots of great Drow products, even more so. So no matter what your interest is in fantasy or D&D, there's a way for you to get involved with the story.
Excellent. With the new campaign, I know that some introduce new feats as well as characters. Obviously, there's a huge focus on the Underdark, the Drow, Mindflayers. I really don't want to talk about those, please.
Oh, I think we should talk about those.
Oh, no.
I think there's a story there.
There isn't, I swear. But is there any kind of new feats as well as weapons and things like that that people can encounter?
I don't want to give anything away too early, but there are definitely some new themes that we're going to have out there for characters to attach, players to attach to the characters that will definitely increase their survivability. We did this with Neverwinter, where we gave them specific themes that allowed them to tie themselves directly into the setting, and we're going to do the same exact thing with the Underdark.
Excellent. So, when can we expect this thing to fully hit?
Well, products are going to start rolling out now. They roll out in-store play programs from now until the end of the year. So the whole campaign just continues to evolve. The story is going to be changing, and think that players will definitely want to show up at their stores on May 16th when Web of the Spider Queen, the D&D Encounter season starts.
Excellent, excellent. Do you know how much it will retail for?
Well, D&D Encounters is a free in-store play program, so that's just, you can just go anytime and play that on a Wednesday. But the other products to have they range in price.
Yeah, just such a vast selection.
Yeah, we have ebooks all the way up to board games.
And that's exciting news. Anybody can just come in, jump in.
Yep.
And that's, again, D&D, it's very user-friendly in that sense.
Yeah.
Guys, I really do appreciate it. I'm excited to see this. I'm a huge fan of the Underdark in general, even though there are stories that we just should not ever delve into. As
I'm afraid we're going there.
You're grinning, you know this.
It's too late.
So there it is, May 16th to Web of the Spider Queen. You gotta be there. These guys are great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Dude, thanks so much.
You guys are fun.
Sit in there on this one.
I want to hear your Mindflayer stories.
I don't know, every freaking time that I walk into a room, you know, it doesn't even have to be in the Underdark, but there's a Mindflayer, you know.